Greetings, spectators. We are back with the first episode of The Evolution to the Human Race, academic version, of course. I will be joined tonight with one Lucas and one Jeremy.
In this particular episode, we'll be discussing some interesting prehistoric animals, such as the pterosaur, the Spinosaurus, the Quetzalcoatlus, and the Mosasaurus.
Starting with the pterosaurs. These ancient beasts were the first animals to develop flight other than the insects. Now, instead of learning about dinosaurs in a educational center, we shall be learning it right here in this video. Now, these beasts had wings from the enlarged forefinger to the ankles.
And let us not forget the small amount of fur that they have.
Now, there were two major pterosaurs, the basal pterosaurs, which were small insectivores that actually climbed the trees,
as well as peridactyloids, which were larger, as in larger heads and necks, and they also took off from the ground.
These giant beasts were actually related to the armored fishes that we can find today in the oceans. They had a diet mainly made up of fish.
Interesting. Moving on, we bring forth the Quetzalcoatlus, which was, in fact, the largest flyer ever. Almost the size of a jet. Could you imagine?
And let us not forget the thrill of being able to fly one of these. You could actually stand on one of them and fly across the city. That'd be mad.
It sounds like something straight out of a fantasy novel.
I do concur. Now, the name was inspired by the feathered serpent god from Central America, and it also lived during the Cretaceous, and some theories propose that the Quetzalcoatlus was not even capable of flight, but my argument to this statement would be, why would it have such darn big wings?
It's just mind-boggling to me, the size of these creatures. I mean, just imagine the size of a giraffe standing in front of you. It's so menacing and infuriating. I could not live in that
era. It would
era.
also eat you in one gulp. That is truly terrifying. And this is not even anything close to the dinosaurs we have coming up.
In pursuit, we have the Mosasaurus, which in fact evolved from swimming reptiles. Another important thing to note is that the genus of this monstrosity includes 40 reptiles. Absolutely flabbergasting. And of course, without a doubt, became the dominant marine animal of its era.
At a staggering 10 to 18 meters long, this marine beast was larger than an academic transport. And no doubt, it would munch you in one bite. This ferocious beast was discovered in 1764 during the wars. Now, it would have been quite a surprise just battling on the field when someone just be like, oh, I just found a dino bone. Now, this massive lizard breathed air, so it needed to go up onto the surface to breathe. The largest of the mosasaurs was named the Mosasaurus hofmanni, and it used strong limbs to propel itself through the waters. This was truly a staggeringly large beast of the depths.
This is why I keep repeating myself over and over. There's no way I personally could survive in such horrific conditions.
I too concur. The educational centers do not prepare you for such details. A gruesome death would surely proceed if encountered this beast in the depths. Now, I must point out that the movies that the Earthlings proceed to inspect, the named Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, are highly inaccurate in the description of the Mosasaurus. For in the movies, it is massively overscaled, and I do that this is for the enjoyment of the Earthlings, but it is just inaccurate, and I don't understand why. But at still 18 meters long, this beast was still a foe to fear. And sadly, with our last dinosaur to inspect, it is the Spinosaurus. This legendary creature was living during the late Cretaceous, and the first fossils were found in Egypt. These genus of dinosaurs had long necks with sails on the back. Now, these sails on the back were, in some theories, used for many things, such as heat dissipation, intimidation, and the finding of a mate. But we will never know for sure, although we do know that they were aquatic.
As we all know, size plays a very important role in these times, and that is why, of course, the Spinosaurus was as large and sometimes even larger than the famous Tyrannosaurus rex and Giganotosaurus apex predators, weighing up to 6.4 to 7.5 metric tons. Aegypticus being the largest of all. Due to their aquatic behavior, the Spinosaurus were well known for eating fish.
And it's particularly interesting to note that the humans are most fond and have most knowledge about the Rex because, of course, it is an amazing creature. But they never think that there can always be something larger because there's a larger fish. Now, the Spinosaurus was truly something to see because of razor-sharp teeth and long heads. This massive creature could again munch you in one bite. Now, I don't know what would happen if a Mosasaurus encountered a Spinosaurus, but I do not think it would end well for the Spinosaurus.
Agreed.
Join us next time on the next episode of The Evolution to
The human race.
I'ma get coffee.
I'll tag along. Don't forget, I don't like sugar in mine.